With BattleBit's free-to-play weekend going live, the developers also pushed out a brand new update for us all to enjoy. And I've got to be honest, folks, they kind of fucking nailed it. Between the new content, the quality of life fixes, the balance changes, the overhaul of long-term progression incentives, Update 2.2.2 for BattleBit Remastered is a huge deal for the game that perfectly coincides with a massive promotional push. Today, we're going to give you the scoop on everything you need to know about this update. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and welcome folks to BattleBit Remastered Update 2.2.2. Now, I have to be honest folks, I don't even know where to start with this video. I know I say this with basically every major BattleBit update video that I do, but this may very well be BattleBit's most impactful update to gameplay to this date, and in a very, very good way. There's obviously some key headlining features that we'll cover off here first, but some of the more nuanced stuff that is happening behind the curtains here has shaken up BattleBit forever. And we'll get into that shortly as well. But firstly, let's talk about the big stuff here. This time around, we've got a brand new game mode, weapon, and map in the game, taking the total number of weapons to 47 and the total number of maps to 22. Sounds a bit insane for a development team of 3 people, but here we are. Starting off with the brand new weapon, which has turned out to be one of the biggest talking points of this update, especially on my Twitch streams, the RPK-16, a brand new light support weapon for the support class. The support class has long been lacking weapon variety, and well, players of the support class are going to be ecstatic to know that this thing is nothing short of an absolute menace. When we first got a sneak peek of it, I was under the impression that it was going to be a bigger AK-15 with crazy damage output and a slower rate of fire, but in actuality, it's more like a bigger AK-74, featuring a more similar damage output and rate of fire to the default assault rifle, all the while sporting a bigger magazine and slowed movement speed to boot. And I've got to be honest with you folks, this thing kicks some serious ass. While it's not got the craziest DPS in the game's arsenal, it just feels incredibly comforting to use in a weird kind of way. It's almost like a comforting hug from mum that tells you it's okay, I've got you, and then proceeds to guide you through your trials and tribulations you're about to face. Which, I mean, in the case of BattleBit Remastered, is the 3 to 4 dudes that happen to be in front of you while you're using this thing, but I digress. One thing I do want to draw some attention to here is the sound of this thing firing. Music to my bloody ears, and could very well be the best sounding weapon in BattleBit Remastered right now. I feel like this is going to be a very, very popular pick in the weeks to come. We're also going to be doing an official review for this weapon in the coming days, so be sure to get subscribed to the channel for that kind of content if you are interested. But that moves us on to the brand new map that came in today's update called Outskirts. And I've got to be honest folks, BattleBit's level designer Velasquez is really stepping up his skills here, because this new map looks bloody fantastic. The coloring, the design, the gameplay flow, hell, even the skybox are all crafted incredibly well, and it feels like a very healthy addition to the game's ever-growing list of maps, especially when you throw in maps that have also seen reworks lately to bring them up to snuff in the quality department as well. The map pool these days goes a long way in keeping the variety of gameplay for BattleBit strong enough to keep you going for longer sessions, and I'm all for it. I'm really finding myself enjoying Outskirts for one, but I've also been enjoying the recent rework of Dusty Dew and Kodiak, which was another newish map that was added not so long ago either, that I've only just recently had a chance to play. Again, great additions to the game's ever-growing map pool. And the way that I've been enjoying all of these new maps and reworks over the last couple of days has been with the new game mode, Invasion. Now, for BattleBit regulars out there, the best way I can describe the Invasion game mode is a one-way frontline with vehicles. Essentially, you have one side that is attacking and one side that is defending, and every time the attackers capture the objectives that are active at once, they proceed to the next set of objectives, so on and so forth until there are no more objectives to run into. But unlike the frontline mode that we're also used to, the defenders cannot recapture an entire sector once they have lost it. They can contest and recapture capture points that are within the sector that's being battled, but once they've lost that sector, it is game over. As the developers alluded to a while ago, and as we mentioned in one of our previous videos, this mode very much plays like like an operations game mode from Battlefield 1. So if that's a kind of comparison you're looking for, you'll find it here. Now, it's worth mentioning that these matches in this game mode tend to go on for a long time, with games tending to last out the timer in its entirety if the teams are balanced enough. Now, I have heard a lot of feedback through my Twitch streams from the community, primarily complaining that this mode is very defender biased. In my personal experience, I haven't actually felt that. I've come across a fairly equal split of games where the match either goes in the attackers or the defenders' favor, and I haven't really detected a strong bias in either direction based on my experience. So that has certainly bolstered my enjoyment of the mode over time, but if people are experiencing heavily biased games, I can see where some of the complaints are coming from with this particular mode as it currently stands. I know that BattleBit's lead developer, Sergeant Okidoki, is currently looking at some balancing adjustments to this mode, particularly around the vehicle spawn rates and stuff like that. So hopefully that balances things out for the majority of people as they play the mode. But personally though, I've been really enjoying it. It gives a sense of a long-standing combat warfront kind of vibe in the game that I've actually really come to enjoy. It also really rewards highly aggressive yet smart gameplay with flanking and stuff like that, which is a big plus for me as a more of a flanker, movement schmover kind of player. But as good as the content itself is here, folks, no, that to me is not the star attraction of this update. No. The things that have really glued this update together for me personally has been the balancing changes and the general quality of life improvements. Allow me to explain. I want to start off by talking about the skin system that Larry, the game's 3D designer, has been working on. Most games, as we know on the market, allow you to earn in-game skins or camouflages through playing the game and just getting kills on your own time, as a means of long-standing progression and mastery expression, if you will. The Call of Duty camo grind is one that many will embark on over time, and we're all familiar with the concept. Well, BattleBit has taken the camo grind concept and taken it to a whole nother level. There are now over 648 camos to unlock for weapons in BattleBit, some of which are unlocked as you move your way through the game's ongoing prestige system, and there are now even some mastery camos in the mix as well. But it gets better. Not only do each of these camouflages have 3 patterns that you can apply, but you can also mix and match 2 camouflages to create accents on your weapon of your choice to make it entirely unique. You can go for a simple, minimalistic, somewhat serious look, or go for something as goofy as hell if you wish. And look folks, as someone who very clearly has some undiagnosed fuckiness happening in the upstairs region here of the old noggin, the new skin system really makes the happy brain chemical go brr in ways that I just wasn't expecting it to do so. It clearly resembles an insane amount of work that should really not go understated, and is a great incentive for players to really grind out their favorite weapons and unlock camouflages that let them customize them in very unique ways. The loadout screen has also received a big touch up visually, which I can't deny looks absolutely outstanding here as well. It's such a small, non-material aesthetic change, but man, I'm a sucker for a good UI system that looks the part of a polished game, and the work that's been done here is worth highlighting in my view. But believe it or not, I'm not done here yet, folks. The real highlight for me in this update comes in the form of a couple of very simple changes that the developers have made to the balance of the game. Stuff that is really just, moving some numbers on a variable or shifting some entries around a spreadsheet. But in actuality, it's a fucking massive change to how the game plays. The biggest change here comes in the form of adjustments to how fast classes other than the medic will bandage themselves and how much HP is returned upon using a bandage across the board. The medic class in BattleBit Remastered has long held the baked-in benefit of having improved bandaging speeds, whether that be on itself or on allies that it's healing. And while yes, this has long given the medic much of its identity in the game as a class, the awkwardness that was imposed on other classes as a byproduct of that decision really made the other classes feel far too prone to damage with no real immediate answer to it, or how to react to it. Sure, the other classes have been able to heal themselves for a while now with bandages after a recent update, but the animation took forever, and it made you feel like a sitting duck in a lot of situations. It overall really de-incentivized the use of other classes unless you were keen on hunting vehicles as an engineer, playing as a sniper with the recon class, or supplying ammunition to your friends with the support class. But fast forward to today, and now, all classes have had their self-bandaging speeds normalized across the board to match that of the medic's bandaging speed, and on top of that, bandages now return a 50 HP per use, as opposed to the 40 that they used to do so. Now, let me be the first to tell you folks, the flow-on effect of those two changes is monumental. I myself have been far more inclined to play a lot of the other classes that are in the game, use different weapons and gadgets, the works, and it really has been such a breath of fresh air to the game and really shoving the meta wide open. Like, seriously folks, I don't think I've ever played so many sessions of BattleBit Remastered back to back where I haven't used the medic class at all. I've been maining the assault, engineer, and supporters of late on the sheer basis that I'm able to heal myself at a somewhat efficient rate, and that has just been absolutely brilliant for both the game's replay value and just for the general variety and the kind of stuff that you see in the game now. It's fantastic. And while yes, you may make the argument that this does take even more importance away from the medic class in theory, it does also bring the relevancy of the other classes in the game up to par with where they should be. I'm all for incentivizing the support classes in the game and giving them a real presence. The medic certainly still has that in my view, but that presence shouldn't come at the cost of the other classes and their ability to actually perform in the game as well. This change to the bandages is a damn near necessity for the game, and I'm so glad that Sergeant Okidoki took the dive and made this change. Now that change, alongside the weapon categorization updates, along further with the changes in what weapon classes were available to what player classes essentially, has also improved weapon availability and variety for more of the classes, allowing you to more accurately play your preferred playstyle on a particular class that you want to play. For example, the Assault class now has access to SMGs, PDWs, and carbines on top of its already expansive suite of weapons, allowing it to be the real home wrecker class that it's designed to be as per its role. I know I've always copped a lot of shit from the community for being an aggressive medic player that hardly revives people. Well now, I can finally return to my true calling of being a movement schmoover, all the while not giving my allies some false sense of security that a medic is actually coming to help them. All of this, folks, on top of the sniper scope changes, which means that medium range optics now output a scope glint, the new Commo system that, while is a bit glitchy at the moment, is a good step in the right direction, and the plethora of other small changes and bug fixes that came in this update have in aggregate been a stellar step for BattleBit Remastered in the right direction. The update feels like a genuine win for the game, and with the free weekend well and truly underway and doing its thing quite well, they couldn't have done a better job in my view. Overall, folks, update 2.2.2 for BattleBit is stellar in every meaning of the word, and I do highly recommend that if you haven't had a chance to give the game a run for its money yet, then maybe this is the weekend to do it. You've still got a couple of days at the time this video releases to come check out the game for free. I could not recommend it more. But folks, that is going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, a backhand of the like button would be greatly appreciated. As you can tell, we've tried a few new things in this one, so I'm very keen to hear your thoughts and your feedback throughout. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the video and you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button as it does go a long way to supporting the channel as well, guys. Once again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.